Hi everyone, I'm Angela from Reindeer Therapies and I'd like to invite you to join me in another yoga sequence. This time it's for the solar plexus chakra, which is right in the center of the torso between the navel and the sternum. And this is our fire center. This is the center of who we are. It's our personal identity. It's our fire, our will, and our determination. So this is the first of the three chakras that we've already met. That is all about us, about the individual. Our root chakra was all about finding our stability and our place in our community. Our sacral chakra is about our creativity, and our solar plexus chakra is all about the will, determination, and drive to get things done. It's also the seat of our ego, and it's very important to keep that balanced. If our inner fire is too weak, then we don't fulfill our full potential. If it's too strong, we just become annoying, really. So it's best to have that nicely balanced so that we know how far we can push ourselves and so that we know when to come back. As for the other two videos, if you have any injuries or if you find that you are pushing yourself a little bit too hard today, just relax. This video will be here for you to come back to, so there's no problem with that. This chakra is also about self-respect and just knowing that it is okay to stop. So let's begin by lying down. We can begin in our Shavasana, our corpse pose. So we have the feet mat width apart, and we just let the feet fall gently out to the side. Hands can be at the side of the body, or we can have them in the center of the torso if we want to get used to feeling the center of where our fire comes from. So let's just take 3 deep breaths in and out through the nose. Not wanting anything to happen, not making anything happen, just noticing. And after the third breath, as we return to a breathing pattern that's just slightly deeper than normal, we can imagine a bright yellow light, like a bright yellow sun, beaming out from the center of our body and opening out throughout the center of the torso, flowing down the legs, flowing up to the head and down the arms, filling us with this lovely light, this light that gives us our drive, our energy, and which also tells us when to back off. Let's spend a few breaths experiencing this light, this inner fire. Again, we're not making anything happen or wanting anything to happen. We are simply observing the breath as it comes in and out, keeping our inner fire burning at exactly the right rate. Let's take 2 more breaths in and out through the nose. And when we reach the end of the second breath, we can bend up our knees, keeping our feet mat width. We can bend the elbows up to shoulder height. And we can breathe in. Then as we breathe out, the knees fall over to the right. We breathe in, knees fall to the left. Breathe in, over to the right. Breathe in, breathe out left. Breathe in, breathe out right. Breathe in, breathe out left. This time we breathe into center. When the knees go over to the right, they can stay there. If it's comfortable, you can let the head turn to the left. If not, just keep the gaze upwards. Let's take 3 deep breaths here, enjoying the stretch on the left side of the body. 1, 2, and 3. Let's bring the head back to the center. Breathe in, bring the knees up, and then as you breathe out, they fall to the left. Breathing in, breathe out to the right. Breathing in and out to the left. Breathing in and out to the right. This time we breathe in, and as you breathe out, the knees fall to the left and stay there. We can keep the head facing upwards or turn to the right. And this time feeling the stretch along the right side of the body. And let's bring that back into the center. Let's walk the feet in a little so that they are hip width apart. We can bring the hands down so they're either on the waist or they're on the floor. We're going to push the feet into the floor, so we're having the shoulders, hips, knees and feet all in a train track alignment. We're going to push the feet into the floor, the inner side of the feet. And as we do that, we notice that the muscles on the inside of the legs start to activate or wake up. So today we're going to be working with a bit of core strength and doing some side stretches and twists, which are all really good for waking up the solar plexus chakra. So as we're going to be working with the core, we can find out just how much tension we need to keep our core strong by placing the hand on the lower belly, just doing a little cough. And you feel how much tension is in there when you cough. Not a great deal. So we're not really gripping the lower abdomen, because that gives too much tension. We're just allowing a little bit of grip, just to make sure that we have got our core engaged. So if you want to do that again, hand on the lower belly, just do a little cough and just feel how much you need to engage your core. So when I say bring the navel into the spine, that's engaging the core. You can do that right now. So release everything. We're going to press the feet into the floor again. Imagine that you've got a block in between your knees that you're pushing against. Let's breathe in, and as we breathe out, we bring the navel into the spine and we start to push down with the feet as we lift the hips up towards the sky in a nice gentle bridge. Chin is just a little bit away from the chest. For 1, 2, 3, and as we breathe out, vertebra by vertebra, we lower the spine all the way back down to the ground. So as we're working within a fire, when we have fire in the body, we do need to release it. So let's straighten out the left leg, and we're going to bring the right knee in towards the chest. This is stimulating the upwards moving colon. So let's just take 3 breaths here. 1, 2, and 3. So let's lower that leg. This will be moving across the transverse colon, and now on this side, as you bring the left knee in towards the chest, we're stimulating the descending colon. And I'll just leave that there for 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Good. So now let's bring the right knee into the chest as well. Hug the knees in. You can make circles with the lower back. Give the whole spine a nice massage. And let's go in the opposite direction as well. Good. Now let's bring the feet back down to the floor. Let's roll over onto the right side and come into our familiar tabletop position. So we have our hips over our knees and our shoulders over our wrists. We're going to come into our cat-cow. So as we breathe in, we lower the belly and raise the head. And as we breathe out, we really bring the navel up into the spine. We push the floor away with the hands as we breathe out. Breathe in, now head up, belly down. Breathe out, really push the floor away, arch back. Breathe in and breathe out. We'll do 2 more of these. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's come back into tabletop. So we're going to do a little bit of core work now. We can extend the left leg and the right arm. So we're going to be bringing the knee and the elbow together. If that's not comfortable for you to do both at the same time, you can do 5, bringing in the knee, and then 5, bringing in the elbow. Okay, so let's get the hips tilting up towards the ribs. Let's get our core engaged, the navel comes up to the spine. Let's breathe in and extend and wobble. And breathe out, elbow to knee for 1, elbow to knee, 2, keep everything in line if you can, 3 and 4, doing well, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Let's hold here for just a moment. Let's bend the knee. We can reach back to the foot or the ankle if that's comfortable and just lift up the chest. Okay, so now let's bring the hand back down to the floor. The left toes come in line with the right foot and we turn the right toes to face the back. And then we lift up for 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Let's come back into tabletop. This time extend the right leg and the left arm. Same as before, you can either do half and half or go for the full exercise. So let's bring the hips up to the ribs. Navel to spine. Let's breathe in as extend and breathe out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're halfway there, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Well done. So let's extend, reach out, let's bend the knee, grab the foot or the ankle, reach the chest upwards. And let's release hand and foot to the floor. So the right foot is in line with the left knee. Turn the left foot behind and let's reach all the way up for 1, 2, and 3. Let's bring that all back down into our tabletop and we can relax for a moment in our child's pose. So hips come back to the feet. We're reaching the arms out in front of us. And if we can bring the forehead down to the ground, that's great. If not, you can use a block. We're just trying to keep the arms off the floor. Lovely. So now, let's bring the elbows down to the ground. And let's start to slide the head and the torso through. So we keep the shoulders back and down, keep the elbows tucked in, hug them into the side of the body, and then bring the hips back to the feet. Let's do that again. Slide the head and torso through, hug everything in, shoulders back, and hips back to feet. And again, let's slide the head and torso through, coming up into cobra, and bring the hips back to the feet. We'll do 2 more. Slide the head and torso through, shoulders back and down, elbows tucked in, and hips to feet. Slide head and torso through, shoulders back and down, and hips back to feet. Good. This time we're going to come up through our tabletop, but we're going to lower the hips to the floor, placing the elbows underneath the shoulders, and then pulling the hands back towards you as you bring the chest through. This is Sphinx pose. Then the hands go underneath the shoulders and we push ourselves back into child's pose. Let's do that one again. Coming forward through tabletop, hips to the floor. Let's have elbows under shoulders. Pull the floor back towards you as you bring the chest through. And then hands under shoulders as we push back into child's pose. And again, through tabletop, hips come to the floor. Elbows under shoulders. Let's pull the floor towards us. And now hands under shoulders and hips back to the floor. Last one. Through tabletop, bring the hips down. Elbows under shoulders. Let's pull the floor towards us as we bring the chest through. Hands under shoulders. Let's push ourselves back into another child's pose. And we just rest here for 3 breaths. For 1, 2, and 3. Good. So now let's come up into a downward dog. So we can have our back and arms straight. Our knees can be bent or almost straight. Always keep a tiny little bend in the knees. Your heels can be off the floor, so you always get a lovely stretch in the back of the legs. And now let's walk the feet to the front of the mat, keeping a bend in the knees, and then we come all the way up and down. So, as the solar plexus chakra is dealing with fire, we're going to do some sun salutations. These are sequences that are done quite frequently at the beginning of the yoga class, and they're a lovely home practice to get you started with. So, Surya Namaskar A, or Sun Salutation A. So we start with the feet together. We bend the knees a little. We breathe in and we do a tiny little back bend. And then we breathe out, we fold forwards, bending the knees as much as we need. We breathe in to a flat back, up onto fingertips. Then we step the right foot back. We step the left foot back. Shoulders over wrists. We lower knees, chest and chin. We slide through into a cobra. And then we push ourselves up and back into our downward dog, where we hold for 5 breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's breathe in, bring the head up. We can walk, step to the front of the mat. Breathe out to forward fold, bending the knees as much as you need. Let's breathe in, come all the way up with a tiny back bend, and come back down. We'll do that twice more. Breathe in, reach up, tiny back bend. Breathe out, forward fold, bending the knees. Breathe into fingertips, step the right foot back, step the left foot back. Lower knees, chest and chin. Slide the head and torso through into cobra or upward dog. And push up and back into downward dog for 5 breaths again. Remember, you can rest in child's pose if you prefer. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's breathe in, the head comes up, step forwards. Breathe out into forward fold, bending the knees if you need. Let's breathe in as we come all the way up. And bring the hands down, last one. Let's breathe in, the hands come up. Breathe out, forward fold, bending the knees. Breathe into fingertips. Let's step the right foot back and the left foot back, either knees, chest, chin, or press up. Slide the head and torso through into cobra or upward dog, which is arms straight and knees off the floor. Push up and back into downward dog for 5 breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Breathe in as we come up and step forwards. Breathe out to forward fold, bending the knees. Breathe in as we come all the way up. And breathe out into Tadasana. Now, Surya Namaskar B, which just adds on a couple of extra poses. So to begin with, let's bend the knees. This is Utkatasana or chair pose. So if there's a dip in your lower back, again, just bring the hips up towards the ribs. We want the back to be straight. So let's breathe in. Imagine you're sitting in a high chair. And breathe out to forward fold, bend the knees. Breathe in to flat back. Breathe out, step the feet back into plank. Lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, press up. Breathe in into upward dog. Breathe out into downward dog. Turn the left heel in, right foot steps forwards, hips to the front, knee over ankle. Reach the arms up and hands come down, right foot steps back into plank or knees, chest, chin. Slide through into up dog or cobra and hips back into downward dog. Right heel turns in, left foot steps forward, hips to the front, knee over ankle. Let's reach up and come down. Left foot steps back, lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Slide up into upward dog, then hips up and back into downward dog for 5, 4. Remember child's pose if you wish. 3, 2, and 1. Let's breathe in, bring the head up. We can walk or step forwards and breathe out into forward fold. Bend the knees fully, sweep the arms up as you breathe in, and breathe out, hands down. 1 more. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up as you breathe in, and breathe out to forward fold. Let's breathe in to flat back, step the right foot back, step the left foot back into plank, lower knees, chest, chin, shoulders back and down, slide all the way through into cobra or upward dog. Hips up and back into downward dog. Left heel turns in, right foot steps forwards. Raise the arms, bring them back down. Right foot steps back. Lower, upward dog or cobra. Hips up and back into downward dog. Right heel turns in, left foot steps forwards. Raise the arms and bring them back down. Left foot steps back, lower knees, chest, chin, or press up. Slide through into cobra or up dog. And we can rest in downward dog or child's pose for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now this time let's come down to the knees, And we're just going to take a brief rest in child's pose. Let's take 3 deep breaths here. Great. So now let's come back up into downward dog. And we can walk forwards to the top of the mat, adjusting the migrating mat as we go. And do that properly. Come up nice and slowly. So we're now standing with feet hip width apart. So let's interlace the fingers, but have the index fingers pointing upwards. This is called pistol grip or Kali Mudra. We're going to breathe in, bring the arms up, shoulders down. Let's breathe out as we reach to the left. Breathe in, reach right. Breathe in, reach left. Breathe in, reach right. This time we breathe into the center. We bring the arms down, place the hands on the lower back. Bring the hips up to the ribs, and as we breathe out, we reach backwards, leaning backwards. Chin is level with the floor, eyes looking up. Let's breathe out and fold forwards, keeping the knees bent, bringing the belly to the thighs. Grasp each elbow with the opposite hand, and let's just hang. And if we want, we can sway gently from side to side, nice and relaxed. Good. Let's release the hands. Let's keep the knees bent. Let's sweep the arms up again into our chair pose. So we want to keep the knees and the legs in train track alignment. So let's bring the hands together. Let's breathe in, and as we breathe out, let's bring the right knee to the outside of the left leg. You can step the right foot back. If it's more comfortable, you can come down to the floor by bending the right knee. Or you can stay up, trying to keep the hips central. 1, 2, and 3. If it's more comfortable, you can place the hands on the knees to bring yourself up. Alternatively, we can bring ourselves upright and open out the arms into twisted warrior. See if you can keep the shoulders down, the knee over the ankle. For 3, 2, and 1. Let's breathe in as we bring the arms up and come into our usual warrior 2. So the little toe is in line with the back edge of the mat, and the front knee is still over the ankle. Shoulders are down, hips up towards the ribs, looking over the middle finger of the front hand. Let's bring the right hand to the right thigh, flip the front palm, breathe in as we reach up, and breathe out as we look towards the foot, the back foot, or towards a hand if that's comfortable. For 3, 2, and 1. Let's windmill the hands down to the floor. Turn the back toes to face the front. And to step forwards, feet hip width. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Let's come back up into our chair pose and hold this for 3, 2, 1. Let's come all the way up and bring the hands together as we come down. Let's bring the hands into pistol grip again. Breathe in. This time we breathe out to the right, pushing into the left foot. Breathe into center, breathe out left, push into the right foot. Breathe in, breathe out right. Breathe in, breathe out left. Breathe in back to the center. Hands to the lower back as we breathe in, but as we breathe out, we reach backwards, keeping the hips up towards the ribs. Chin level with the floor. And let's breathe out as we fold forwards, bending the knees. Grasping the opposite elbow. And a little sway from side to side, keeping the feet nicely grounded into the floor. Okay, let's release the hands. Let's breathe in as we push the feet down into the floor, into our chair pose, keeping the hips up towards the ribs. We can bring the hands together, shoulders are down. Let's breathe in, and as we breathe out, we bring the left elbow over towards the right knee, keeping the shoulders down. We step the left foot back. Again, you can come down to the knee if that's more comfortable. Heel can come to the floor. We try to keep the hips into the center for 3, 2, and 1. Again, you can have the hands on the leg to push yourself up, or we can just bring ourselves up and open out the arms into our twisted warrior. See if you can keep the shoulders down, the arms level, front knee over the ankle for 3, 2, 1. Let's breathe in as the arms come up, and let's open out into our usual warrior 2. So the little toe is level with the side of the mat, the edge of the mat. Front knee is over the ankle. Hips are up towards the ribs. Arms are active. As we look over, the middle finger of the front hand for 3, 2, 1. Let's bring the left hand to the left thigh. Flip the right palm and breathe out as we reach towards the back foot. We can look down or up towards the hand, whichever is easier. The 2 and 1. So let's windmill the hands down to the floor, back toes face the front. Let's step up, feet are hip width. Let's breathe out into a forward fold. As we breathe in, we come back into our chair pose for 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to breathe out and bring the hands down towards the floor. And we're going to bring ourselves all the way down. Okay, so I'm going to do some seated twists. To begin with, let's extend the right leg. Let's bend the left knee so the foot is on the floor, and then gently bring the knee towards the floor. And to come into Janu Shirshasana, or head beyond the knee. So let's breathe in, lengthen the spine. Breathe out as we reach forwards. We always tilt from the hips. So when we're going forwards, we have the hips coming downwards towards the floor for 3, 2, and 1. Let's breathe in as we walk the hands back up to the body. Now let's bring the right hand to the inside of the right leg, and we can breathe in as we reach the left arm up. This may be enough for you, and that's absolutely fine. But this may be enough for you, and that's fine. If you can reach and bring the right hand to the right foot with the elbow on the floor, that's great. You can reach all the way over and bring your fingertips to touch your right toes, that's great too. If that's not working for you, then simply holding onto the side of the leg with the left hand on the waist as you're looking over your left shoulder, that works as well. So let's take whichever version works for us. For 3, 2, and 1. Good. So whichever version we're in, we'll come out of that. And now let's lift up the left knee and to leave a tiny bit of space between the foot and the opposite leg. Let's get the toes pointing upwards. Let's take a nice breath in, and as we breathe out, we can bring the right elbow around the left knee, and we can reach the left arm behind us. If you are able to bind in this pose, which I can't because I've got the tightest shoulders ever, feel free to bind. If not, just keep reaching around for 3, 2, and one. Lovely. Let's come back to the center. We bring the left elbow to the inside of the left knee. We just do a little counter twist the other way. Good. I'm going to scoot around. You can stay on the same side if you wish. So now we straighten out the left leg and we have the right knee up and we bring the right knee gently down towards the floor. So let's breathe in and breathe out as we walk forwards, always moving from the hip. For 3, 2, and 1. Let's breathe in as we walk forwards, as we come back up. And again, we can bring the left hand to the inside of the leg. We may have the right hand on the hip and twist around, so we're looking over the right shoulder, or we can reach for the left foot. And if it's comfortable, bring the right fingers to touch the left toes. Depends on what works for you. We stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's breathe in, come back from whatever we were doing. And now let's lift up the right knee. And let's place the right foot with a little bit of a gap between the foot and the leg. And we can take a breath in, and as we breathe out, let's bring the left elbow around the right knee with the right hand behind. Now, see if you can bind on this side. We always keep the straight leg active. Oh, I can bind on this side. For 3, 2, and 1. So let's breathe out as we release. We can have the right elbow on the inside of the right knee, left hand behind. We just do a cheeky little counter twist. And then we can stretch out the legs. And we can bring ourselves to lie down. So we're going to do another little bridge. Maybe go a tiny bit higher this time, if you're comfortable with that. So again, let's remember our core. Let's bring the hips up towards the ribs, pushing into the inside of the feet, navel into spine. Let's breathe out and lift up the hips. Imagine you have a block in between your knees. And if it's comfortable, you can get the elbows underneath and raise up your hips even higher, only if it's comfortable. For 3, 2, and 1. So again, nice and slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, let's release the spine down to the ground. And let's bring the right knee into the chest, and we can straighten the left leg. If it's comfortable, we can straighten out the right leg. If it's very comfortable, we can reach up and grab the right toe. So your first 2 fingers are wrapped around your right big toe. If that isn't comfortable, just hold on to the thigh or the shin, or just have your knee bent and hold on to your leg just below your knee. And let's just hold here for 3 breaths. For 1, 2, and 3. Okay, if you're holding onto your toes, swap arms, because we're going to do a twist towards the left leg. If you're holding onto your knee, let's take a nice breath in and breathe out as we bring the knee over towards the left side. Nice big twist to finish off with. For 3, 2, and 1. Good. So let's bring the leg back into the center. Bend the knee and let the foot just slide back down to the floor. So let's bring the left knee into the chest. And let's straighten the leg or just hold on to the area below the knee. Let's hold here for 1, 2, and 3. And then it's either the knee or the leg coming all the way over to the right side for 3, 2, and 1. Good. So let's come back into the center. Let's bend the knee and let the foot just slide down. And let's get ourselves ready for our relaxation. So let's have our feet mat width apart. And just give ourselves a moment or two to settle. Remembering the work we've done today for our solar plexus chakra, the fire that we've created and the fire that we've used in our practice today. And what we've learned from using that fire and generating that fire. Did we use all that we needed? Did we need more? Did we need less? So let's bring our attention to our right leg. Breathing into the foot and breathing out any tension there. Into the ankle and breathe out. Let's breathe into the calf and the shin and breathe out. Into the knee and breathe out. Into the thigh and the hip and breathe out. Turning our attention to our left leg. Breathing into the left foot and breathe out. Into the left ankle and breathe out. Into the left calf and shin and breathe out. Into the left knee and breathe out. Into the left thigh and hip and breathe out. Into the abdomen and breathe out. Into the waist area where our inner fire lies and breathe out. Breathing into the chest. Breathe out, releasing the front of the torso. Breathing into the lower back. And breathe out. Into the back of the ribs. And breathe out. Into the upper back and the shoulders. And breathe out. Breathing now into the right arm, to the right hand and fingers, and breathe out. To the right wrist, and breathe forearm and elbow, and breathe out to the upper arm and shoulder, and breathe out, bringing our attention and our breath to the left arm, to the left hand and fingers, and breathe out to the left wrist, and breathe out to the left forearm and elbow, and breathe out to the left upper arm and shoulder, and breathe out, moving up to the neck and the throat. Bring our attention and breath, and breathe out to the back of the head, all the way round to the forehead, and breathe out, releasing any frowning between the eyebrows. As we breathe out, we let the eyes sink down into the sockets. The jaw releases as the teeth gently part. And we breathe out to release the whole of the face. We can release the whole of the body, melting into the mat, allowing our inner fire to relax now. We can take 3 deep, relaxing breaths as we observe the body relaxing and melting into the earth. At the end of the 3rd breath, we start to become aware of where our body touches the mat, of the air where it touches our skin, sounds inside and outside the room. We begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes, then bring the feet together, bend the knees, place the feet on the floor, and nice and gently roll over to the right side, pushing ourselves up into a sitting position. When we breathe in, raising the arms, and breathe out, hands to heart. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Thank you very much for practicing with me today. I hope you've enjoyed this solar plexus chakra balancing sequence. I hope you find and use your inner fire well. I hope to see you soon. Have a great day. Namaste.